this video, I'm going to explain how to immigrate to Canada under the Canadian Experience Class Immigration to Canada program. Canadian Experience Class Immigration Program is one of the programs managed by the Express Entry Immigration System. This program has been designed for those applicants who have work experience in Canada. To be eligible to apply under the Canadian Experience Class program, you must have at least 1 year of work experience in Canada and know either English or French or both languages. First, let's look at the work experience requirements in detail. To qualify for the Canadian Experience Class program, you must have worked a minimum of 12 months and 1,560 hours full-time or an equivalent number of months and hours part-time in the 3 years preceding your application date. And you worked in an occupation that is listed in the National Classification Code, NOC, Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3 job categories. Your work experience can be in one or more of these categories. You must show that you perform the duties set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC. This includes all the essential duties and most of the main duties listed. Important! It is very important to note that you must have had a valid status as a worker or were authorized to work without a permit during all periods of your employment in Canada. There are also a few exemptions that are not considered as qualified work experience for the Canadian Experience Class program. These exemptions are self-employment work in Canada and any work experience that occurred while studying in Canada regardless of whether you were on a co-op work term. The second requirement of the Canadian Experience Class program is the requirement to know English and/or French at least the minimum required level. You must show that you meet the minimum language requirements in English or French by taking an approved language test. You will be tested and awarded points for each of the 4 tested abilities: writing, reading, speaking, and listening. The minimum required language score depends on the NOC score of your occupation. We will go over whether you can take an approved language test in another video. Subscribe to our channel to be notified when the next video comes up. It is important to note that although there is no education requirement to qualify for the Canadian Experience Class Immigration Program, you get CRS points for your education. The more CRS points you score, the better your chances are to be called from the pool of applicants and invited to apply for permanent residence. Therefore, it is very important to score as many CRS points as possible. To be awarded CRS points for your education, you must either have a certificate, diploma, or a degree from a Canadian secondary or post-secondary institution, or if you have a foreign education, an Educational Credential Assessment, or ECA, report for immigration purposes from a designated organization showing that your education is equal to a completed certificate, diploma, or degree from the Canadian secondary or post-secondary institution. We will go over the requirements and how to get your Educational Credentials Assessment in another video. We hold live info sessions where we explain the Canadian Experience Class Immigration Program in detail. To learn more about the Canadian Experience Immigration Program, please attend one of the information sessions. We will put a link in the description box below. Subscribe to our channel, allow notifications, and like this video to stay in touch.